Hi, thank you for clicking on my video. My name's Guy Arnold and I'm the author of Great or Poor and Sales Through Service. I will try and keep this video as short as possible, but there's quite a lot of information to be had here, and it's critically important information for any business, large or small, profit making or non-profit making. The world is changing, the internet has changed everything, and this is information you need to know. Okay, so do not do any marketing, do not do any sales activity, don't employ a sales team, don't do anything like that until you've listened to this video and taken some of the advice on some of the things that are on here. The other thing that people try and do is try and put social media processes into place without thinking it through, and that gets into an awful mess for them. So, very briefly, I'll try and be as quick as possible. First point for you. The internet has changed everything. In the same way that the invention of the printing press in the Middle Ages changed all the rules then, directly leading to the Reformation, Renaissance, and revolution around the world, where there was mass communication made available, the internet now has changed everything. For the first time, we have worldwide two-way communication. And customers are now empowered, your business is transparent. Look at all the businesses that are being caught out for doing things wrong, doing things in an inappropriate way. Everything is now becoming transparent, and competition is now worldwide and instant. Your business is not safe, and remember, the bigger you are, the harder you fall, and it is not the strongest of the species that survives, but those most adaptable to change. Here's the key thing. Traditional sales and marketing strategies are no longer working. You know that because you're a customer, but let me repeat that. Your traditional sales and marketing strategies are no longer working. And the problem is that all of those sales and marketing companies who are trying to sell you their processes and tell you how to do things, they've all been brought up in the old world. They are not in tune with this new way of working in a lot of cases. The world has changed, everything has been turned upside down, and that is particularly the case with the sales process. Now, the sales process traditionally was about AIDA, attention, interest, desire and action. You know, get people's attention, get them interested and then grab them. It's a bit like fishing, you've grabbed your fish. But what would happen then? Once you've got a sale from someone, the number of things would then happen. You either bombard them from your marketing department's going to do some email marketing and bombard people. And what happens to your customer? They get fed up. Or, alternatively, you don't do anything. I've been working with a kitchen company who didn't even take people's names and addresses when they came into the showroom. We changed that and improved their sales straight away. So sometimes companies ignore people. That's ridiculous. You just need to go into any car showroom around the country and to see how much you can be ignored. Maybe they hope. Maybe say, well, it'd be nice dealing with you. We'd like to deal with you again. Yes, of course you would. That's very hopeful. But hope doesn't build sales. You've got to have a strategy for that. You've got to have a structure and a process to build your sales. And lastly, people try and bribe you. They say, well, if you recommend us to a friend, we'll give you a bottle of champagne. Or if you recommend us, we'll send you some vouchers. What does that imply? That implies that you as a customer are bribable. And that our information, our business isn't good enough, so that we have to give you a bribe in order for you to pass it on to others. Now, it doesn't work. And a lot of people try and do all these traditional approaches, they work hard at this, they work hard at this, and they get some progress, but it doesn't work. And I'm going to teach you and explain to you an alternative, revolutionary way of looking at this that will make life so much easier, make you build sales exponentially and reduce your costs and aggro ridiculously. So watch on. So, they do all of those things, and then when those all don't work, they give up and try and find more customers. And it's a bit like when you've gone fishing, you've caught your fish, you've put them in the holding net, but your holding net's got a great big hole in the bottom, so the fish swim out the bottom. So you have to keep on catching fish to put them in the holding net, so you have a certain number of fish in your holding net at a time until they find the hole in the bottom. Madness, total waste of time and effort, ridiculous. Perfect example of this is the insurance industry. They spend all their money advertising to get new customers, or the banking industry trying to get new customers with special deals. And then, when you're an existing customer, they treat you badly, don't look after you, and of course, over time, you go. So there's a whole market grown up in there now. You switch and compare the market and all this sort of stuff. Whole market grown up based on this ridiculous way of working that the most important thing is to catch a fish, but retaining it isn't important. totally mad. What I'm going to suggest to you is a process where when you catch the fish and put it in your holding net doesn't have any holes in it, but your holding net is also so attractive that other fish swim up and jump into it. Okay? So, what's happened? What's the problem at the moment? What's the problem with the traditional approach now we're in the 21st century? Well, firstly, customers don't believe your adverts, testimonials, or customer satisfaction surveys and all of the old marketing bullshit. It doesn't work. Testimonials. Who believes testimonials? Nobody. They've been chosen by you. They are not right. They're not unbiased. Look on the other hand at TripAdvisor. People believe TripAdvisor because it's unbiased, it's unfiltered. Okay, so testimonials, don't do testimonials, do feedback. Customer satisfaction surveys. Who likes customer satisfaction surveys? Everybody hates them. They have appalling reputation and they have very poor response rates. They ask all the wrong questions. They get no real output. They're all rubbish that people try and tell people they ought to do because that's the only thing they know. Customer satisfaction surveys don't work. Use feedback. Do feedback and use our Great Rapport system for that, and then we can explain more about that. Not here, I'm afraid. Competition is more fierce and price-driven. Okay, because people are struggling, because the world has changed, people don't know what to do about it, what are they going to do? They're going to put their prices down. So price competition is becoming much more fierce and ubiquitous. Customers want to know, however, what you're really like and what you will really deliver. They don't want all the bullshit. They want the facts and the guarantees so that they can make their mind up themselves. Which brings me on to a point about guarantees. What guarantees do you offer in your business? It's essential to give some great guarantees. They want to know you're 100% trustworthy, so you can tell them the truth whether it will gain or lose a sale. They want to know you're going to do that. And they want to be sure that you will always give them the best deal you can, whether they ask you or not. So some fantastic guarantees there. If you want to see some great examples of guarantees, have a look at my website, greatrapport.com. Under the bottom there you'll see 4 different guarantees. Please have a look at those. Critically important things, guarantees. Okay. The other thing customers want to know is they want to be sure that you're good at solving problems. A problem well solved is an opportunity to create a massive lifetime loyalty of the customer. So look at problems as opportunities. Put systems and processes in your business about how to solve problems. We published another video called How to Turn Complaints into Sales. Have a look at that. That'll show you how to do that one. Okay? Because customers have virtually unlimited worldwide and far too much choice. So they want to find someone who delivers all the above. They're swamped. They've got too much stuff. What they want is to find someone they trust unconditionally. Great examples of this would be Richer Sounds, the hi-fi retailers. John Lewis, the retailers there. Marks and Spencer's used to be brilliant at this until they lost their way. Who is it out there that you really trust? You know, that always deliver no matter what. Amazon.com, brilliant. eBay. You know, people trust strangers on eBay. Why do they do that? Because of feedback, because of transparency. This is the business model of the 21st century. They also want you to be easy to deal with. They don't want you to be hard. They don't want to fill in forms. They don't want surveys. They don't want any of that old bullshit that goes on. They just want you to care and be easy to deal with. And lastly, of course, I've just mentioned, they want you to care. They want to feel like an individual. They want to feel like they actually matter to you. Okay, so lots and lots of issues there. What is the answer? Well, we moved, a little simple history lesson here. We all started off as hunter-gatherers. And hunter-gatherers just depended on small groups and hunting-gathering, survival of the fittest. We then started living in communities. Now in communities, reputation was king. People lived or died by their reputation. Literally, they would starve if they didn't have a great reputation, if they couldn't deliver on what they promised. We then moved, after the invention of the printing press, to the industrial age. Okay? Now, the industrial age has been 400 years of fairly destructive behaviour, shall we say. 400 years of industrial age hunter-gathering and survival of the fittest, and not being very kind to any part of the business, any part of life, the environment, the people's health, and people's and the economic situation in the world today. Here we are after 200 years of prosperity in the UK, 200 years of unrivaled prosperity, and in effect we're a bankrupt country. Utter madness. So we've had 400 years of madness. Now what's happening now? We have two-way communication. Social media is driving transparency. We now have a worldwide community. So we've moved from hunter-gatherer to small communities, to industrial-age hunter-gathering, to large communities. We have a worldwide local community. And reputation is everything. And here I mean proper reputation. I don't mean managed reputation. There's plenty of firms out there who will go on the web and try and get rid of articles that say bad things about you and promote articles that say good things about you. That's bollocks. It's like King Canute going up on the tide and saying, "Tide, do not come in." It might work for a little bit. Just build a sandcastle wall to hold the tide back. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work for a bit, but it's short term. It won't last long term. The sea will push the wall down. It has to happen. So short-term solutions are not going to solve this. They're not going to get you anywhere. You've got to go for long-term solutions. How do you do that? 5 steps. Okay? Now the first step is engage and look after the customer as you would your best friend. You know, what is it you can do to engage the customer? This is what we talk about in the Great or Poor system, www.greatorpoor.com. How do you engage and deliver value for your customer? If you do this brilliantly, it'll give you increased conversion rates and reduce marketing costs. Fantastic. When you've done that, also covered in Great or Poor, you need to get feedback. Step number 2 is feedback, which will give you loyalty and continual improvement in your business. Feedback is critical, so please contact us for feedback. We can do it for you, or we can tell you how to do it for yourself. Okay? Third step, use the feedback to get better and to give yourself competitive advantage. Your customer is the greatest consultant in your business. Okay? They know what your competition is. They've spent a long time looking at it. They're going to know much better than you what else is available there. Get close to your customer, get feedback and use it to get better, okay, and give yourself competitive advantage. When you've done all that, systematically and structurally, your people will be more engaged and empowered. So step 4 is engage and empower your people. Make sure you use the whole person, body, heart, mind and spirit. Why is it that when we employ people, we only employ them for one of their facilities? Well, you're employed to screw that thing up, so just sit down and shut up and do as you're told. You're employed to do the accounts, so sit down, shut up and do as you're told. In a recent survey, over 80% of a large number of respondents agreed yes to the following statement. Do I possess more talent, capability and energy than I am asked to or even allowed to employ at work? How ridiculous. We're living in a world where we all need more for less, yet we're not even getting the best out of our people. It's called the industrial age mindset. So we want some really engaging and empowering management to make sure our people are liberated, engaged, empowered and delivering excellence continually. We can help you with this. Very, very important. It's called Great or Poor Management. How to engage and empower your business. Another word for it is balls, not bollocks. Have the balls to do the right thing and get rid of all the old marketing and HR bollocks that's getting in the way. If you do all that, give you recommendations and public reputation. That's what you want, more great reputation and public recommendations. Okay, which means step 5, you now align everything around your business to being attractive to new customers, attractive to cross-sales, attractive to upsales, and attractive to referrals. You do not push these, you make yourself attractive, you pull them. It's about what I call elastic and Velcro marketing. People come back to you and bring other people to you or send other people to you. Do all of that and your sales will skyrocket at the same time as your stress decreasing. So have a look on my website, greatorpoor.com, for the model for doing this. You start off with your customer-focused mission, get that clear. You then filter all of your processes and strategies through your customers' real needs. Remember, they're emotional needs, not physical needs. Very, very important. You know, let's say you are manufacturing plastic cards. A customer doesn't want a plastic card. They're of no intrinsic value apart from scraping ice off the windscreen. What a customer wants is a result. They want that plastic card to do something for them. And everything that we do, every business we're in, is about results. And they are emotional results for us. They are about making our lives more happy and successful. You know, going to a pub is not about food and drink. It's about a great experience, having a nice time, and being happier. Okay, so those are our second point, customers' real needs. Third point, go the extra inch. You need a systematic step-by-step process in your business to continually improve. We call this the Go the Extra Inch process. It's in my book and it's on my website. Have a look at this, the Go the Extra Inch process. This is the key to the whole thing. You can achieve everything else if you put a Go the Extra Inch process in your business. And lastly, step 4 is measure, which completes the circle. Make sure that you've got some effective measures in place to make sure you know what you're doing and what you're doing the right things. So, how does this apply to the sales process? How does this apply to what you do every day? Because it's very easy to say this stuff, but it's harder to actually do it. So, let's look at first of all at marketing. Marketing, customer focused mission. What is your customer focused mission in marketing? Well, the old model for marketing was we need to ram our stuff down people's throats, we need to get the word out there, we need to tell everyone about us. The new model is your customer focused mission is your marketing needs to add value to the customer. What can we do that will add value to the customer so that customers will want to come to us? Secondly, your customer's real needs. What is the customer's real need from your marketing? The customer's real need from your marketing is to find a company they trust and like and know that will be attentive to their needs and make their life easier. Okay. Does your marketing do that? Maybe, maybe not. Thirdly, go the extra inch. Put a process into your marketing of continual improvement and make sure that you always slightly over-deliver in your execution of what you promise rather than under-deliver. Always over-deliver rather than under-deliver. But it doesn't need to be a huge amount. It's just an extra inch. So over-deliver by an extra inch and then put an extra inch process into your business to continually improve. And measure. Make sure you measure your marketing. Make sure you measure the output because what gets measured gets done. If we can measure it, we can improve it. So that's your marketing. Secondly, following up. People get very worried about following up phone calls, following up meetings, all that sort of stuff. They think they're being intrusive. You know, people don't do this well. They either don't do it or they do it badly. Neither of those win. Fight is doing it badly, you know, following up, and flight is not doing it at all. I don't want to follow people up because I don't want to be in their face. Neither of those work. We need the middle ground, we need the win-win follow-up. Okay, so what's your mission for following up? Your mission for following up is to find out what the customer needs and what they think of you so that you can do the next things that they want. So either it might be leave them alone, might be follow up in a certain way, might be meet them, might be do anything, but it doesn't matter what it is as long as your mission, your thought process is the purpose of following up is to find out what's best for them. And only if we do that right will they then want to have more to do with us. What's your customer's real needs? They want you to follow up in a way that proves you're trustworthy, that proves you really do genuinely care about them and not just the money they're going to bring to you. It's got to be about them individually, it's about caring. And thirdly, is follow up in a way that makes it easy for them to say yes, or it's easy for them to say no. Either yes or no is fine. What isn't fine is not following up or following up incessantly without asking the question. So you can follow up and say, look, like to follow this up, quite happy for you to say yes or no, but where do we go from here? Okay, so use the words that suit you, but my words aren't very good, but use the words that suit you and follow up properly. Thirdly, go the extra inch. What's the extra inch you can do in the follow-up? How can you slightly over-deliver in your follow-up? How can you wow the customer just a tiny bit in your follow-up? And how can you make sure that your follow-up processes and what you do are continually improved? Okay? And lastly, measure. What is your measure? How do you measure your follow-up success? Okay? Thirdly, appointments. What's your mission for appointment? Your mission for appointment is to get an appointment if it's the right thing to do and to not get an appointment if it's the wrong thing to do for both parties. Okay? What's the customer's real needs? In an appointment, they need to have information that's going to help them trust you, going to make their life easier and make you then realise that you do care about them. So filter everything you do with appointments to your real needs. Go the extra inch. What extra inch can you have in that meeting? How can you slightly over-deliver in that meeting? Can you take along some extra information? Can you do some research? Can you make some helpful suggestions, put them in place before you arrive? Can you maybe speak to other people who deal with them or in their business or whatever? So what can you do the extra inch? And then how can you, after your meeting, work on it inch by inch so that you get it better and better and better? And lastly, measure. How are you going to measure the effectiveness of your appointments? Fourthly, the sales process. What's your customer focused mission on the sales process? This is really important. Your customer focused mission on the sales process is not to get a sale, and I'm going to repeat that. Your mission on the sales process is not to get a sale. Your mission is to get an outcome and the right outcome for both parties. Because there's three outcomes. Either they don't buy from you for the right reason, or they do buy from you for the right reason, which is obviously generally the one you want, or they do buy from you for the wrong reason. or they don't buy from you for the wrong reason, and those are all losers. So the purpose of the sales process is to get to either they don't buy from you for the right reason, or they do buy from you for the right reason, and they don't fanny about and waste everyone's time, and they don't buy for the wrong reason, they don't not buy for the wrong reason. That often happens, doesn't it? So you've got to make sure that the sales process is designed around getting that outcome, not getting the sale, because when you are trying to get the sale, you're manipulating them, and that you're going to annoy them. Okay. Secondly, what's their real needs in the sales process? They've got to have a process that's going to build trust, they've got to have a process that's going to make life easy for them, and they've got to have a process that's going to make them absolutely certain that you care about them, rather than trying to get the sale. Thirdly, go the extra inch. What are the extra inches you can put into that sales process? How can you make that sales process more enjoyable for them, more valuable to them, whether they buy from you or not? Okay? And then how can you go the extra inch on continually improving that process step by step, week by week? Okay? The answer, of course, is the go the extra inch process. And lastly, measure. How do you measure your sales process? Do you measure output or do you measure input? Well, of course, the point is you measure input, and then you measure results of input. The last thing you want to do is start measuring activity. Well, I've made 100 sales calls. What have you achieved? Don't know. No point in that at all. You need to measure what is the input, what did I deliver to customers, and what result have I had from that from the customers. Okay? So that's your sales process. And then the service. Well, the service is the great or poor system. You know, what happens once you have sold something to the customer? What's your customer focused mission? Your mission should be, our mission is to do something so well that people want to buy again from us. So your service is about over-delivering. What's the customer's real needs? Customer's real needs is to trust you, like you, and to feel valued. So how do you over-deliver in a way that builds trust, makes people like you, and makes people feel valued? How do you go the extra inch, thirdly? Well, you go the extra inch in what you do. Always slightly over-deliver. Always just tinily over-deliver. And then build on it inch by inch through your measure, fourth point, getting feedback to continually improve through the go the extra inch process. And lastly, recommendations and referrals. How do you generate recommendations and referrals? Because you can't generate those till you've done all the other stuff brilliantly. Okay, and this could be also via social media, of course. And you generate recommendations and referrals for your customer-focused mission. You need to make sure that your mission is to do something so brilliantly that people want to recommend and refer you. Your real customers' real needs on that is to make sure that you're easy to recommend and trustworthy, because when they recommend you, they are putting their reputation on the line. Okay, so they're not going to do that for someone who doesn't systemize the process, doesn't absolutely give you confidence that they're not going to cock up. Okay, so those are the customer's real needs. Make sure everything in your process drives the customer's real needs. And go the extra inch. How can you go the extra inch in your recommendations? What are the key little things that you can give that will make people want to recommend you a little bit more? How do you make it easy for them? How do you make it attractive to them? How do you make it fun for them to recommend you? And then how do you build on your process inch by inch? Of course, using the go the extra inch process. And then lastly, measure. How do you measure recommendations? Of course, that's relatively easy to measure. You measure recommendations by how many you get and how many are given. And so put some great measures in there to continually improve. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground very, very busy, very, very quickly. Sorry that it's taken such a while. Hope that's been helpful to you. There is a simple process to make this thing happen, and I will describe that in a separate email, but it's separate video. But for now, thanks for watching. Good luck. Hope it goes well for you. Please do contact us. We've got loads of free material we can send out to you. We will send it out. There is no obligation to deal with us at any time. We just add value in the belief that if we're good enough, you'll want to come back to us, you'll want to pay us, and you'll want to tell other people about us and recommend other people to us. That's what we believe. That's how we do business, and we think you should do too. Thank you.